So this recipe is perfect when you want to clear out the fresh produce in your fridge. This is a healthy and colorful side dish, and you can use whatever vegetables you've got. So I've got some butternut squash, and I've got this courgette, which is also known as zucchini. I've also got the mixed bell peppers, red, green and yellow, some carrots, potatoes. These are the sweet potatoes, celery, parsnip. I've got the onions and aubergine. This aubergine is also known as eggplant. And for some extra flavor, I'm going to be using some garlic, and I've also got some chestnuts closed cup mushroom, and I'm also using this sweet, which is also called turnip. Some people call it turnip. It's also referred to as rutabaga. I don't rutabaga, yeah. So it's a root crop. So starting off, I've all washed all of these vegetables, and I'm just going to cut them up in a little bit bigger sizes, not too tiny, just a bite size. So we want to aim for something similar, like sizes that are similar. So I'm starting off with the bell peppers, the green, the red, the yellow, and then I'm going to set that aside. Then moving on, I'm going to cut the onions just as I did for the bell peppers, just a size, just chunky, because these are vegetables. They're still going to shrink down, and we don't want some of them to get burnt in the process because they are too small. So we want a reasonable size. And moving on, I used my celery. This celery, you have to wash your celery, like in between the stalk. You guys see this, it can be filled with sand. So I'm using just two because I just want to make a little portion for dinner, for family dinner. So after that, I moved on with the zucchini, which is also called courgette, and I just cut this because zucchini cooks really fast. So I want to cut not too tiny so it doesn't get mushy, not too thick so it doesn't get undercooked. Like, you just have to cut a reasonable size. So, and then I'm cutting the eggplant. Cooks really fast as well, so I'm trying to make it a little bit bigger, not too big, because I want to see them obviously in the roast. That's why I'm being conscious on the sizes I'm cutting them. Yeah, so moving on, I'm just peeling the parsnip. So this parsnip is your choice, but I usually like to take off this inner core. It's a bit like a fiber, so it's like thready. Here we want fiber, but it's like more like a thready, which can be uncomfortable sometimes for me. Yeah, so I always take it out and then I just cut it. Remember, I'm being conscious of the sizes. You don't want it too big, so some vegetables will be cooked, some will be hard. We don't want that. And then I'm just going to peel the carrots and cut the carrots. Sometimes with carrot it doesn't really matter, because you know you can eat carrots raw. If it's not cooked, it will be crunchy in the meal. So just cut the same size just because you want it bite size. So this is how I just do my thing. And then I'm mixing. Then I'll move ahead to the sweet potatoes. So for the sweet potatoes cooks not too fast, but it actually cooks fast. So you want to cut a reasonable size that everything will get cooked alongside with the sweet, which is also called turnip. Some people call it turnip. So the sweet, it can be really tricky, guys. Just stick with me on this. Out of experience, I'm sharing this recipe with you guys. So this is the sweet. This is really hard. So the first time ever I did this roast, vegetable roast, I found it really challenging. So this is what I usually do. So this turnip, I've not washed it, as you guys could see. I'm just peeling it. I'm going to save the other one for some other time. So I'm just going to cut them, and after cutting them in little sizes, just the regular bite sizes, you're going to wash it, sprinkle with some salt, and pop it into the microwave, or you can steam it just halfway cooked. So when you transfer it into the roast, it will cook like evenly, because it can be really hard. So moving on, I'm just going to peel this butternut squash. As you guys could see, I'm using one. It's not really big. It's looking somehow big in the video, but it's not really big. And then after that, I just took out the seeds. I'm just going to cut it in little sizes. And the body of all these things have been washed. Yeah, for those of you that will call for me and say you didn't wash it, yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be washed, but if you want, you can just wash it now, which I'm not going to do that because I already washed them. So I'm just going to add the butternut squash. You can see how I cut it small, like tiny, so it can cook evenly, because the things that we're going to find challenging here are the parsnip, potatoes, butternut squash, and the sweet. Yeah, So I've just cut the garlic in half, and then this is the mushroom, which is already washed. You can wash the mushroom, you can also clean it. That's way to just get your mushroom clean. So I'm just going to sprinkle some oil, just little. You might not even need oil, but just sprinkle a little bit of olive oil. And then I went in with some kenju seasoning. So this is a blend of paprika, oregano, onions powder, garlic powder. Like, I've got a recipe on kenju seasoning. It's just a nice spice blend. I nearly forgot that sweet, so I added this into a tray, and then I added the sweet, which has been halfway cooked. You guys remember? Yeah. So I put it into the tray and I added the garlic, and then I'm going to put this inside the air fryer, or if you got an oven, that's fine. So somehow I got two air fryers. One is the regular air fryer and the other one is like in my microwave air fryer. So I'm just going to split that. I've got my oven, but I prefer to use air fryers. So I'm going to be roasting this for 180 degrees Celsius for about 30 to 40 minutes. You want to turn halfway through. Yeah. So while I was doing that, I had to put some chicken quarters inside so they can also roast. So this chicken quarters usually roast for 25 minutes thereabout. So the other one was already roasted, so I had to mix them together so I can get my chicken quarters drying up fast. You can see how this thing is well cooked on its own. Like this is really tasty. You can have it on its own because it's well spiced up. And then I'm going to be pairing this with some tomato stew. So this tomato stew is just basically tomatoes, onions, garlic, oil, just kenju seasoning, mixture of herbs. So just very tasty. And plating it up, just chicken quarters, stew, and the vegetable roast. So you can have this on its own like this. It's perfectly fine. If you're on a weight loss journey, this is just the kind of food you need, because my husband is on a weight loss journey now. For you, those of you that already know, I've been sharing recipes. So but this day is just what we'll have on a normal day for dinner. So because this recipe is like focused on more like a low carb, so if you guys notice, I was like putting less of the sweet potatoes. It still contains carbs, but there's those type of carbs that you still need. So this type is still better off than. Anyway, everything is just moderation. You can eat anything to lose weight. I always say this. So I'm just trying to be conscious of the root vegetables that have higher carbohydrate, just because of my husband. And aside from that, yeah, this recipe is perfect for the entire family. So when I make recipes like this, my kids also eat it, myself and my husband. So now gone are the days where he eats all these things and go and look for fufu and pounded yam. So let me know if you're going to be trying this recipe and if it's something you usually do. So that's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.